At it again, and we've got an important topic of discussion today that I would like all of America to see and to hear. Okay, so please watch this to the very end. Like it, share, comment, leave your thoughts and your opinions. Help out with this YouTube algorithm. Share it with your friends and family, because there's something about this entire situation that's happening that we're going to dive into today that I don't think enough people are really discussing, right? And one of the things that I want to do in this video is extend an olive branch to our other brothers and sisters. I'll dive more into that at the end of this video, so please stick around. I've got one clip that I'm going to show you guys, and then I've really got 3 clips I'm going to show you guys. There's one long clip I'm going to show you here at the beginning, and 2, after that, and we're going to get into my olive branch, okay? So stick around, and let's dive in.
And tonight, we sense the winds may be shifting on the policy front as well. The warning again delivered via a Washington Post column written by another prominent globalist, Fareed Zakaria. Biden's efforts have amounted to Band-Aids on a massive open wound, he says, about immigration. The president must use the power he has to stop asylum seekers while the system tries to process the millions of cases outstanding. Wow. Now, that's coming from Fareed Zakaria, and that is huge. Now, his words when I was reading this sounded like they were ripped out of an old angle from 2021 when I was warning that an open border would break America and break the Biden administration. He said the migrant crisis is exposing Democratic policy weakness at every level. An administration that is scared to take on its progressive wing, right to shelter rules that are utterly unworkable in New York and Massachusetts. Now, that is quite the about face from a columnist and CNN host who, just a month ago or so, declared that there was no border crisis because the Biden administration's border plan worked. So in 1 month, Zakaria went from no crisis to we must change course? So what the heck happened? By the way, back in 2018, Zakaria was dabbling in the usual liberal invective when he examined the motivation of all of us border hawks.
Some of this might be rooted in racism, but it also represents a kind of heightened nationalism, a more emotional conception of the nation. And immigration has become a proxy for that gut feeling, the sense that the country must be able to define itself, choose whom it will allow to come in, and privilege its own citizens over foreigners.
Of course, racism isn't what's at play here, but he got that last part right. And I'd go further. We believe America's future should be determined by its own citizenry, not by a cadre of elites who want both cheap labor and to permanently change our electorate by turning our nation into what Teddy Roosevelt warned would become what? A polyglot boarding house if borders were not controlled. Of course, far-left politicians like AOC, well, they just want to streamline this never-ending illegal population coming into the country. She spoke today, but there weren't all adoring fans in the audience.
Listen.
Allow for work authorizations so that the folks in here can get to work and start supporting themselves as soon as possible. The faster that folks can access the work that they're asking for legally, the better we can solve this problem.
How does she like them apples? And Jerry Nadler got an earful as well.
We welcome immigrants here, and our city is a testament to the many immigrant communities that have shaped our past and are propelling us into the future.
That's new.
It's funny that he's saying we welcome immigrants here when you have your constituents in the background saying close the border. So who actually welcomes them? Is it the people or is it the politicians? I would beg to say that it's the politicians, not the people. And this country is supposed to be run by we the people. But I guess Democrat politicians don't believe in that. But let's continue. Stick around. Like I said, I've got a very important message that I really want to touch on at the end of this clip. So,
New York, my friends. Now, these Democrats care more about the border crashers sucking up city and state resources than they care about American citizens and legal immigrants struggling to pay their own bills.
American dream will not be bullied into submission today. We will continue to fight for the American dream. We will not be bullied. We will not be pushed into a corner.
Now, wait. Bullied and pushed into a corner is exactly how the American people feel over the border issue.
They're going to keep coming here. If the entire world knows that they're giving everything for free in Queens and in Manhattan, there's going to be a line from here all the way to South America. It's never going to end. We need to close the border. We can't afford this. Our city is going to go bankrupt. How are we supposed to raise families here? And they're calling us racist. They're calling us white supremacists.
Americans see what's happening here, and many now feel like they're second-class citizens in their own country, like we're strangers in a foreign land here. No American in his right mind supports what's happening now. Just this week, in one day, 9,100 migrants crossed the border in Arizona, 7,400 of them illegally, and those are the ones we know about. That's it. There are others who got away. Sources told Fox that agents apprehended over 7,400 illegal immigrants at the border on Tuesday. When combined with the encounters at the ports of entry, that number hit 9,100. Now, no wonder the issue of immigration has become such a problem now for Biden, because in the most recent CBS YouGov poll, a whopping 2/3 disapproved of his handling of immigration. Only 34% approved. Among Republicans, 91% disapproved. 74% of independents disapproved, but out-of-touch Democrats, somehow 66% of them think scenes like this are just fine.
It's getting better, though.
Looking good. Those numbers are worse than they appear, by the way, because as I intimated at the outset, Republicans' opinions on Biden's handling of immigration broke down along partisan lines, which brings us back to Zakaria. He's smart enough to see that this situation isn't sustainable. He's not a dummy. It's not sustainable politically or practically. And the angle believes that the White House may be considering a move to at least have the appearance of tightening things at the border. Now, just so you understand this is not because somehow Joe Biden, who doesn't think about anything, or any of the people, puppeteers controlling Biden, have some policy epiphany on the issue, but because it's become a huge political liability to them in both the presidential race, but I think it's becoming a liability down ballot as well. But the fact is, the damage that this open border has already done to America, it's incalculable. Democrats who don't listen to Zakaria and don't reverse their stance on this should never be allowed near a position of power again.
Now, as promised, I have something that I want to show you guys. And, I don't think enough people are really touching on this topic of things. So I'm going to show you guys these two clips, and then I'm going to say what I need to say.
Close the border! Close the border! Close the border! Close the border!
And we're ready to send them back. Send them back. We are sending them back. Send them back. As well as the board members who have left the United States. We have downloaded diversity including representatives from California, Texas, Illinois, as well as New Jersey.
Seeing us be out, you're a disgrace to the Hispanics. You're a disgrace to the Hispanics. You don't represent us.
Get out! And what we seek to do.
Close the border! Close the border!
My message is close the border, vet these people. Like, how come they get to cut the line in front of millions of people waiting? They're waiting to come to America the right way, but they get, pushed in front. The migrants, the illegal migrants. They get everything. They put them first, put Americans last. We need to be America first, not Americans last.
Do you think that AOC was responsive to messages like this?
No, she cut her little press conference early because of us. She kept on talking the same thing. Housing for migrants, work for migrants. But what about our homeless veterans? What about our homeless Americans? She puts the migrants first, us last.
Well said. Very well said. I've also got another short clip here that I want to show you guys, and let's jump into that.
I think that AOC, when she came out and other members of Congress and they had this press conference, what did you think about their comments?
They will never be allowed to walk down the streets again. Yes. They have destroyed our city, and New York, especially Queens, is woken up.
Let's pull away from this. You see
and New York and Queens especially has woken up. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to first say, and I get it, right? I know a lot of, us Republicans in the back of our minds are thinking, well, we told you so. We told you. We tried to warn you what was going to happen. But let me say this, guys. Today isn't the day for I told you so's, in my humble opinion. It's not the day. I would like to today extend an olive branch to our Democrat brothers and sisters on the other side of the political aisle and say that you are welcome. You are welcome over here. I was once a Democrat myself, and I've recorded that entire journey, right? I think that's why a lot of you, love tuning in, because you got to watch the journey of me, figuring out what the truth actually was, me being super open to everything, right? Trying to discover what is the truth about all of this. But yes, I would like to extend an olive branch to our Democrat brothers and sisters and say, you are more than welcome over here. There's more than enough room for you over here. I know you're tired of being lied to, bamboozled, tricked, and put last. Over here, you're put first. Americans first, the way that it should be, right? So I would say, hey, listen, share this with all of your Democrat friends and family. I want all Democrats to see this. You're welcome. You are more than welcome on our side, right? And I say side, politically, right? We're all on the same team at the end of the day, but you get what I mean. On our side of the political aisle, you are welcome. What I'm seeing happen to, some of our once great Democrat cities is absolutely terrible. It's disgusting. We've checked out the people in Chicago who are absolutely livid about the situation that's going on there, and their Democrat politicians, basically putting them last as well. We've seen what's happening in California, where they're being put last as well, and it's just a really unfortunate thing. And I really do hate to see it. This ain't the time for I told you so's. This is the time for us all to come together and unite against these terrible policies and these terrible politicians who put on a front and try to say, oh yeah, we care about you, we love you. And the guy, I don't even know who the gentleman was earlier in the video who said, the American dream will not be pushed into a corner or backed into a corner. The American dream is dead. It is dead. It's gone. Flat out. I hate to even say that, but it's dead. There's no possible way the average person can achieve anything close to what the American dream actually is. With the cost of living, the cost of everything, you got crisis on top of crisis on top of crisis on top of crisis. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous at this point. It's time we unite and stop this mess. Stop it. It has to end. Otherwise, we won't have a country anymore. And I do believe that we will unite. I have seen videos, and I've shown you guys videos of Democrats saying, for one, I didn't leave the left. The left left me. I dropped a YouTube short just yesterday of somebody saying that. Just yesterday, right? And of course, I have more. I've dropped compilation videos with people saying that, right? Or of people saying, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Donald Trump, but now that I see what's actually happening, I'll be voting for Donald Trump in the next election. So once again, to my Democrat brothers and sisters, you are welcome, more than welcome, on our side of the political aisle, on the Republican side. You are more than welcome. Join us. I'll leave you with that. Peace and love. Y'all stay safe out there. I'm out.